Well, today is June 26th. Here we are in one of our permission farms. And this year I actually got permission from the landowner to actually put in a small food plot. So there's an area on this end of the farm that was basically cattle pasture years ago, and the farm equipment just isn't able to get into this tight little spot to put any crops in, so it's a perfect opportunity to put in a food plot. But before I go in there and just start mowing it down and getting it ready, I kind of wanted to just do a little scouting to find out where the best tree would be, how it would lay out the best. I had a camera here last year, kind of on this ridge here, and had some decent bucks going through there. So I'm curious to see if I put something in here, if we can get something to come out to that spot. It makes for a really good spot just because the access is really good. I can come in from the cornfield, hop in the tree, and then hop right back out. So it's an ideal setup, so I just want to go check it out and see what we can find. So on this food plot, I'm going to try to do this with as little equipment as possible, kind of referred to as a poor man's plot. So I'm going to come in here with just a brush mower, and then I'm going to spray it down, kill off all the grass, and then I'm just going to try to prep the soil as best I can, and then I'm just going to throw something here in the fall. Probably more than likely, probably cereal rye is what I'm planning on doing, maybe with some turnips or something in it, but going to be minimal cost. My first initial thought was trying to set up in this back corner over here. So I'm going to go check over there to see if we can find any trails coming out of there or a good tree to sit in. I would hunt it on a south or southwest wind, because all the bedding is over in this direction. Again, that cornfield is right behind me where I can come in off the road and jump in the tree stand and then just get right back out of here at night. So again, access is pretty good here, so go check it out. Well, I think it's going to work out that oak tree is probably our best bet. This whole little grass area is about 0.7 acres. I don't think I'm going to do the whole thing, because if I did the whole thing, they're going to be out of my range probably. So I'm just going to try to focus it on this half, try to get them coming up out of there. There was one trail coming up out of there we'll show you a little bit later on. But first thing I'm going to do before I start any of this is I'm going to set a tree stand and try to figure out what the best area is to put the food plot in, and then we'll go from there. So we're going to go ahead and get that set first, and then on to the rest of it. All right, now we got the stand hung. I think it's in a pretty good spot. Now it's going to be figuring out exactly where we want the food plots to end. I'm thinking we're going to put a scrape stick in here to try to get the deer to kind of stop in here and check things out. So we're going to put a post in the ground and put a branch out front, just kind of make it more enticing for the deer to come in and give us a broadside shot. So probably have somebody sit up in the stand and kind of map out where exactly we want the food plot to be. But that's going to be the next step, so let's go get the brush hog. got it all mowed down, and now we're going to go ahead and put this scrape stick in. Got it positioned about 20 yards from the stand, so we're going to go ahead and get this hole dug about, I don't know, 1.5 feet or so, depending on how many rocks are in there, and then we'll set that post in and put up the licking stick. Be a little tall, but all right, so last step, I guess, is we're going to mount this branch so that they got something to lick on and put their orbital scent on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drill through this. It's about 1 inch in diameter, so I just got a spade bit. I'm just going to drill through this, then I'll put some screws into that to anchor it and secure it in place. So I'm going to kind of run it at an angle so I get it about, I don't know, chest high or so. That's where we want the branches so that they can lick on it. So that'll be the next step.
Just twist them on.
Whoa.
There it is.
So I just broke off some of these branches in the middle here. We just kind of really want the end, and if worst case scenario, we could always zip tie something else on here if they beat it off pretty good here come fall. But this should give them a reason to stop in and check this thing out and give us a 20-yard broadside shot. Should have brought a drill to pre-drill it, but I think it's gonna hold. I don't think it's coming out of there. We try one more on this side or just leave it?
I'll leave it. Got like a wedge effect going on.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, the last step on the process is we're gonna go ahead and spray this with Roundup and hope that we get a good kill. If not, it's early enough in the year with the fall planting that if we need to do it again, we can come back and spot spray it if we have to. So go ahead and get this spread on and finish this project up. Holy smokes. Well, we just finished up. I actually ran a little short on Roundup, so probably gonna have to come back and hit that last 10-foot swatch. Maybe a little later, but maybe this afternoon, we'll see. But you know, our last video we had tractors and grain drills and everything else, kind of high-end stuff, putting in food plots up at our cabin. And this is just another way for a lot of us do-it-yourselfers to do it on a budget, put a little bit of sweat equity into it, and you got yourself a nice little food plot. The only thing I'm worried about is trying to get this thatch layer down to bare dirt. Honestly, I'd love to burn it, but since it's somebody else's property, I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and do that. But we'll see after this Roundup takes and see how bad it is. Maybe a light disc or a light drag, maybe to just get that soil to seed contact that we might need come in the fall. So got her finished up. It looks pretty nice. I would guess we might have a 1/4 acre or so. We'll pull that up on Onyx and check out what we have. But got about 1.5 months or so before we're going to plant something in this plot. So kind of got my fingers crossed. Hopefully we can get a deer down this fall.